Hello, welcome to Fanfiction Theatre. I'm Tristan from QuipTracks. With me is Tracy from QuipTracks. I think. Maybe. Well, with me is Michael T. Bradley from Ice on Mars.
Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa.
Drew Brock from Drawback Productions.
Count votes. Stop counting votes.
And I think that's... Okay, we might have Ryan Downey here, looks like.
Yep.
Hey.
Hey.
And yeah, Tracy presumably will be back at some point. We got something special today. First of all, I've done a few upgrades. We just redirect the mic there. Done a couple upgrades. Yeah, I don't know if he's still stuck in that machine. He might be. We gained a couple of followers since then, but we're not at 50 yet. One is this little thing. I decided to put little team icons on the frames so that people can associate us with our teams. So that's the QuipTracks head there. You probably won't notice the changes to the chat box. They were pretty minimal, but it made it easier to move it around the screen. And we have a first tonight. We're going to start out with a couple pieces of fan art of Fanfiction Theatre fan art. So, Michael, I've got
These could just be on fans of some, like, aren't there ornamental fans? If we could just do that, then we could get fan in there one more time.
Yeah. We'll start a Kickstarter for that. But yeah, so I've got your flight attendant on the screen here. You did this with Misha, right?
Yeah. Now, did Misha tell you the process that we went through to do these?
No.
So what it was is we both came up with an idea, and then we did a sketch. Misha's much more detailed of a sketch than mine, and then we after we got the sketch to a point where we were happy with it, we switched, and then the other person colored slash and I do mean slash what's the word that I'm looking for here, like inked or whatever.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
So
this is clearly from our Family Troubles Reba X Left Behind series, where Rayford Steele, that was it, right? Steele is resisting temptation from this floozy of a flight attendant. I noticed a little R tramp stamp. Is that?
Yeah, that's for Rayford.
Oh, gotcha.
And you notice his tie.
Yeah, number one dad, clearly.
Yeah. And I tried to make his wedding ring pop a little with the bright gold. I don't know if it worked or not.
Oh, got a message saying wait from Tracy. So I'm not sure.
Can you?
Okay.
You can hear me now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Our door, I was going to record my session. I thought, you know what? It probably won't be a huge disaster if I try this. Our door just stole my microphone.
Gotcha.
And I do not understand like the logic behind that part of the computer.
Yeah, that's fair. So we'll work on maybe.
So you forgive me.
I asked Tracy to record on his own computer since he kept dropping out, coming over Discord. Discord kept cutting him out, just for editing to put up on YouTube. But not a big deal.
If that's happening a lot, somebody send me a message and I'll adjust, like, because I assume it's going too loud.
Yeah, I mean, we told you. I told you to redo the lines last time, but yeah, we'll see. We'll play it by ear. So yeah, flight attendant, and then there's one other.
Literally ears.
Wah, wah, wah.
It's so applicable. I'm laughing.
Fart.
And then here
Did you
is
say fart?
here is Venom playing a song. I forget what he was playing. Was it Godsmack or something?
Hollow. Yeah, Hollow by Godsmack.
Wow, I got it right.
That's amazing. I love that picture.
Just strumming away in his ice palace.
That's the big detail to notice here. Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's a. I don't want to give away who started and who ended the picture.
Gotcha. I was just about to ask.
Yeah. If anybody has guesses, I don't know. I'll let Misha answer. But something that whoever started it and whoever ended it was very. God damn it! I'm blanking on words. Sorry, I'm a little out of it tonight. But we were really hoping that people noticed that he used his webbing for the strings on the guitars.
Oh, gotcha.
That's why it looks like that. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was representing the strings like jangling around. while being strummed.
That too, but they're also
Okay.
but they're webbing.
The
Jangling
idea of the frequency being so low that you see the entire sound wave repeating all the way up and down the string.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess, I don't know, Turtle's head start exploding. What happens when you get too low of a note?
Did you say
Oh
turtles?
shit! Turtle shells themselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, I
Didn't know
thought,
that
well,
factoid.
we only resonate with a small number of frequencies, but something must resonate to that, and it would either be rocks or turtles, because that's where nature crosses over.
Where flora and fauna meet like
Yeah.
rubber meeting the road. Yeah.
where life meets unlife, you know.
So Misha just gave it away. Who created which? I don't know if anybody had guesses, but yeah, the Venom was originally mine. Misha added basically everything that's good about it.
So the two farthest back figures back there.
Yep, and the
Okay, because I noticed
staircase.
that one person knows what a leg looks like, and the other person thinks that they look like the big sword from Final Fantasy VII, just sharply cut in by the eagle.
Now, to be fair with Venom, that is intentional. I think the only limb of his that I messed up is his left arm, which should be much bigger. Because I prefer Venom where the proportions are way the hell off. So.
This is
But
an
yes,
alternate. This is an AU where Reggie from Lady in the Water became Venom, and he's only working out one side of his body. So,
But yes, absolute full. God damn it, mea culpa on the statue in the background for sure.
oh, weird. Yeah,
I know,
I guess you were
one
frozen
of
for a
those
while.
figures
I thawed you.
is starkly different from the other two.
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to go for like a one of those like Roman statues that kind of has like, I don't know if it's going to show up in the chat. It's like with the delay, like, you know, this sort of like look to him, and that was the best I could do, and it was
Looks
not
like
very good.
it's the crossing guard. It's the best crossing guard they've ever had.
Well, you know, Elsa's young. She made ice sculptures of things she knew.
Spitfire.
So I love this. And,
Spitfire
I
says
really
that
like
they're-
that the statue is wearing the MC Hammer pants. Those are really nice. I like those.
oh,
that
he's
was-
stopping for hammer time. Oh my gosh! How did we not see it?
There you go.
Spitfire says my elbow's also 3 inches from my wrist, so
Is Spitfire Venom?
could be.
Because it's
So
that's
His
foreshortening
mouth is-
Spitfire, okay?
this thing. No, I love it so much, but I also love that his power in this version is that he can just like reallocate fat around his body at will.
That's I again, that's like especially when Rick Remember was writing Venom, like Venom just had these enormous biceps and thighs, and I don't know, I really like that look for him. But it was impossible for both me and Misha to do Venom with his mouth wide open and not make him look happy. Like this is supposed to be him at his like moment of deepest sorrow, like, oh, I'm damned to be alone for all time, and even this woman who should be able to relate to me, I can't connect to her, and he looks like he's having a jamboree.
You know what? I just noticed that the background, the gradient in the background gives it a lot of dimension.
Yeah.
I really like it. I need to start using gradients. I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
Gradients.
Gonna steal the
I'll tell you
idea
right there,
of
that
shading.
wasn't me.
Forgive me, I didn't buy the rights to gradients.
My ice cube literally was just a cube with a couple of circles on it. Everything that's good about it is Misha.
Okay.
And Tracy,
So
Tracy, you did get to see the other one, right?
No.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Let me,
we gotta put it up and let Tracy see it because you were too busy fucking with the mic over there.
there it is.
Can you, for one thing, get me a high res, either? Oh.
Yeah. Soak it in.
It's soaked. I'm soaked in it. We need to dry off now.
Also, I think what lends to the sordidness of it is the fact that the restroom right beside them is occupied. So it's just, her coming onto him has like somebody uncomfortably shifting around like a foot and a half away.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Hopefully we can make this a regular thing. I don't know if we want to try it again this weekend or not, but I do have I have an idea or two. So.
Yeah, and if anybody else wants to submit fan art, we just created a new email address. It is fanficnight@orderoftheleague.com.
What are we starting with?
I was going to start with Reba.
Okay.
With family troubles.
Yeah.
Family
No, I missed last week. What all did I miss?
You missed
You missed the rapture.
I missed the rapture.
Just the very
it's
beginning.
it's
It's
just
been
started.
on my calendar for months, and I can't believe I missed the rapture.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it just started. So.
Yeah, they.
So
Reba was left behind. We figured that out.
Oh,
you missed me as Raimi asking Reba if she believed in Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Which she did, but she didn't believe in the rapture. So Jesus was like,
oh,
"Fuck you, lady."
Jesus, like, got you on a technicality, baby.
Yeah, you've had a relationship with me your entire life, but you didn't think this batshit stuff was going down. So,
Also, I guess to be clear, we
Ironic,
don't.
because batshit typically goes down.
To be clear, it's not 100% sure that the raptures happened. Like, Raimi might have just ran away.
That's technically
he
possible.
might have
Yeah.
slipped out of his pajamas and laid them out in his own bed under the covers and ran naked into the night.
But the fact that the next chapter is called "The Rapture People Are Missing!" I think probably leads us.
It's not the name.
Yes,
The Rapture people are missing.
Rapture people.
They're trying to call Rapture technical support frantically.
I just for some reason it reminds me of, remember the letter people
no.
on PBS?
Wait, the letter
You guys
people?
are probably, yeah, you guys might be too young for that. That was probably early '80s.
Gotcha.
But like,
I didn't have PBS. I was in the deep Midwest.
Google it. You'll be horrified. But very HR puffin stuff. But still, like, just Rapture people. Like,
Okay.
Right.
The
Like the rapture
rapture
people under the stairs.
Come on.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's like that. Oh, God. What were those books with the characters that were kind of similar to that? That's all I can remember, so I'm never going to.
Similar to Rapture people or to letter people?
Letter people. It was, shit. It wasn't like as cool as the Garbage Pail Kids. It's like somewhere between letter people and Garbage Pail Kids.
that's an interesting variant. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's. I think they
those were just
represented
letters.
emotions.
Oh, hello.
What's that?
Oh, you're not talking about where the wild things are.
No.
Are you
It's in,
talking about sweet pickles?
We're talking about all kinds of stuff here. Sweet pickle. I don't know.
I was
Let's
trying to tell
see.
I was trying to
Throw
tell
it
these
on the docket.
whippersnappers about the letter people from the
Yeah.
80s.
No, not Sweet Pickles, though Sweet Pickles is similar in that era. But it's like, I swear they all had like Mrs. and Mr. in front of their names. Okay, if I just search Mrs., I get Mrs. Piggle Wiggle, but it wasn't that. It was, I want to say like Mrs. Consternation, but that wasn't it.
Kitty is
Hey, is
suggesting.
that Mrs. Pickle Wickle on Fans Only? 'Cause- all right.
Well, anyway, it's really a...
Books, right?
It's
what
it's
were
a
you-
rabbit hole.
What was it? I've forgotten already. Little Mister? What?
Yeah, Little Mister and Little Miss. They're
Little
little
Mister and
books.
Little Miss? Is that? I don't know. We've got so
Maybe?
many IPs tied up in this story now.
Listen, Ryan.
Yes,
Half the
that's what I
letter
was thinking
people-
about. Yes, Mr.
Yes.
Clumsy, Little Miss Shy, Mr.
got it,
Lazy.
yes.
Yes,
Get it.
that's.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Surprise.
I remember them.
What do I
Okay.
mean?
I remember.
You win. We're gonna write you a fan fiction
Yes!
about Little Mister and Little Miss.
Yes.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, I posted the links to our ongoing series in the chat. We are on Chapter 8 of Family Troubles.
The chapter title is. Let's hear it one more time.
Chapter
Tristan.
title is The Rapture People Are Missing.
All right.
Can
So
Not
you
the
find them on the
rapture.
back of
People
these
are missing.
specially marked boxes of Holios?
uh,
I dragged that out to try to think of the best cereal possible, and I came up with Holios.
Holios.
So
I like it though, because they've got a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
you can either get
Yeah.
rice Holios or corn Holios.
I mean, you had the option to go for Halos. I'm kind of disappointed in you.
Halos, of course,
They're
and
just
they're
little
just
chunks
Cheerios.
of ice.
Right.
They're just Cheerios that you have to eat with holy water.
Or how about this?
Oh.
Frosted manna.
Or
all right. That's a little too high concept.
oh, wait a minute.
Look, that
the manna
fell
came
flat,
from
but
ancient
listen to me,
aliens.
listen to me.
Manna looks like hoarfrost, so it's already frosted.
Tearing us apart!
Serge!
You're a hoarfrost, okay? Look, it's
Whoa!
so is everybody who's gonna have a voice ready to go for because I'm gonna start narrating.
I think we're ready.
And
We're back
And
to
I'm really
Bruce
sad
How
Lee.
because-
many times do I have to say no, man?
Just tell me who to voice, and I'll come up with something.
Just give me a second. Give me a second.
Well,
I don't have the fan.
Okay.
I never.
all right.
My assistant never gets me the fanfics, and she's rarely here, and I'm starting to wonder if she even works here.
Quinn,
It's
I know
tough to
you
find
had
Quinn had Damien.
Damien. Is that his name?
My
What?
system is
that
also
was
bad.
a reference to another thing.
I had the reporter guy, right?
Yeah, I can't think of his
guy-
name, but
The guy who always
Oh,
aggressively
Buck
calls
will-
himself Buck.
Yes,
Buck.
Buck will-
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
And you were doing Bill.
No,
Clinton.
he's Buck. Okay, and he's Bill Clinton. So
Okay.
That's right.
that's what I decided.
Let's
Well,
go.
All right. Tracy?
Yep.
He does-
Bruce Barnes was working at the church late again. He was in his car turning onto the street he lives on when car rear-ended him.
My car.
iCar.
Car, beep beep.
I didn't rear-end him just
That's
walking. A
iCar.
car rear-ended him. I need you to know that. Who was I? Is it Dr. Michaela Quinn? Medicine woman?
I am assuming that it's supposed to be an A, but it does read brilliantly in the first person. Who's going to be Bruce?
New Disney Kids show, yes.
Wait, who's Bruce?
Bruce is the pastor who didn't want to come home to his wife. I think I might have voiced him. I'll just do it now. It's fine. Hey!
Bruce hollers, turning around to see that the car has no driver. He jumps out of the car and runs over to look inside the other one.
God
There
damn
are shoes
Google.
on the...
Sorry.
What was that?
I said goddamn Google.
Oh, there's... Yeah, I just came across a company today that's making AI cars, and I cannot remember the damn name of it. Oh, there are shoes on the pedals and clothes in the seat, but no person. There is a shiny thing laying on top of the woman's blouse. Is it really laying? I think it's lying. Bruce picks it up. It's a dental plate. Bruce puts it down and just stares at it.
Just
lying.
stares at it. That means he's got to think to himself.
He's got to say something, yeah.
Oh, no.
Why would a dental plate be left? Why isn't there lunch left?
Yeah, kind of arbitrary.
Yeah, if he ate just like 2 minutes, just a couple minutes ago, so he hadn't finished digesting it. So
Yeah, but why'd it go to heaven? You don't need it there. Should be left on the pile of clothes.
Same with toenails.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
This can't be. Not yet.
He's saying this out loud. I don't know why he went for the reverb. Did he turn
No,
into Venom?
he's thinking to himself.
Oh,
he's
got
thinking
it.
to
Okay.
himself.
Yeah, you're right. You're
No,
right.
actually,
you're right.
Or
I
so
think that's
he
just
thought.
a follow-up to the line.
Bruce thinks to himself. He hops back in his car and speeds down to his house. He parks his
whole
car in the
panel of-
grass and runs into the house. Upstairs in his bedroom, his wife is nowhere to be found. She wouldn't go somewhere this late. Bruce checks the bathroom, but she's not there.
Okay, this is more thinking. Maybe she went into one of the kids' rooms.
Bruce thinks. He goes into both of the older kids' bedrooms. Neither his
it
wife
be?
or his children are in those bedrooms. He is still trying to rationalize what's going on.
Let's listen in.
They are just in the baby's room.
Bruce says. He walks into the room with his heart racing. He walks in and finds that he is yet again alone. Bruce gets on. Didn't he look through the whole house like a paragraph ago? Oh, well. She is nowhere to be found. Then he looked through the house.
The baby's room
Okay.
is in the shed out back.
Bruce gets on his hands and knees and starts crying. He crawls across the floor over to the crib. He pulls the blanket back and sees his daughter's pajamas on the bed. He pulls them out of the crib and holds them close to his chest. Bruce starts bawling like a baby as he falls over with his face in the floor.
Damn. The wife stripped the kids down and drove to Phoenix again. Damn it!
He climbs into
Face
his
in
daughter's
the
pajamas
floor.
and curls
Like-
up in the crib.
Why?
It's like this house has people in it.
Yeah, a
He's
little bit.
just
He put his face in the floor, not
It's
on
like
it, but in
this house doesn't have people in it. Whoa. Sorry.
It's
So what's
he
A
falls
slash
over this-
N mean?
That's
What's that?
such an
Author's
interesting
note.
way to explain that he fell so hard he broke the floor.
Yeah.
right.
Kind
He's
of
now
can just
looking
gloss
into the
right
lower
over that.
floor. He's like ceiling cat.
All right. Author's note. They have all been looking for Elizabeth and Raimi.
Oh, thank God. I
Who is
had no
that?
idea.
All.
Them.
All.
The giant ants.
They are.
Everyone.
I just want to go back for a moment. I know we're barely moving here, but
It's okay.
it's okay. This last paragraph sounds really funny. Just imagine that the narrator is at the bar and he's explaining this incredible thing he witnessed. They are just in the baby's room, Bruce says. He walks into the room with his heart racing. He walks in and finds that he is yet again alone. Bruce gets on his hands and knees and starts crying. He crawls across the floor over to the crib. He pulls the blanket back, sees his daughter's pajamas on the bed, pulls them out of the crib, holds them close to his chest. Bruce starts bawling like a baby as he falls over with his face in the floor.
Chris Rock.
Anyway,
is that
how much
you?
for an around the world?
See, I see. I'm hearing this in the voice of that cop from Signs, just telling one of her folksy stories.
Oh, that's so much.
She started spitting on everything.
That's the
on the pajamas?
I was kind of hearing it in Rod Serling sort of tone, you know? Like
Let's
Bruce gets
all
on his
just
hands
go
and
around
knees and starts
and
crying.
do an interp of this one paragraph.
Okay, I will record an entry. Everybody should who can. Let's do
Starts
this.
bawling like a baby as he falls over with his face in the floor.
In the floor.
This could be
Not
tough. We don't need
on.
to record
In.
video. It could be just audio. I think that'd be cool.
Okay.
All right,
Are we
Reba,
ready
Reba,
to?
it's your line.
Safe on costumes.
They've all
so-
been looking for Elizabeth and Raimi. We got to find out if they found Elizabeth
okay.
and Raimi.
How do you know everybody's been looking for Elizabeth and Raimi?
The author told us.
That's the author's
Oh.
note, but they didn't really specify who they were. And based on the title,
Oh.
I'm assuming it's the Rapture people. So
Well, this follows directly from the previous chapter with what happened there. There is no need for an author's note here. It is not in the
Yeah.
slightest unclear what's going on here.
They just like to lean into the frame now and then and say, "Hi, remember me?
Yeah.
I'm writing."
Fools. Okay, Reba.
Yep.
Maybe Raimi took Elizabeth somewhere. I don't know if that's maybe Raimi took Elizabeth somewhere, or maybe Raimi took Elizabeth somewhere. Maybe Raimi took Elizabeth
Let's all go around
somewhere.
and do an interp of this one
Let's all
line.
do one.
Maybe Raimi took Elizabeth some. Okay. Reba says.
Maybe Raimi took Elizabeth somewhere.
I think I was Cheyenne. And Cheyenne
Yeah.
was just Reba Light, right?
I believe so.
Now,
But without the like wisdom of Reba, you know.
a foolish Reba.
Yes.
naive Reba.
God bakes the biscuits, and I like biscuits.
Spitfire says, "These pretzels are making me thirsty." Now, he didn't come into our room last night. Elizabeth was there when I went to bed.
Cheyenne says, bawling into her Kleenex.
With her face into the Kleenex.
Chloe.
Who was
The hell was Chloe?
I feel like we
think we
ask this
switch Chloe
every
every
chapter.
I think like all of us have been Chloe.
Whatever, I'll do Chloe.
Chloe.
I am Chloe.
Chloe's the Darlene from
Oh, read
Roseanne,
this line.
right?
It's wonderful.
Was she the dumb one? Was she the one that
No,
Drew voiced?
No, I think she's the.
Yo.
I think
it
she's
was
the.
Drew.
Well,
Oh, okay,
Last
yeah,
which
maybe,
one?
maybe, yeah.
Chloe the.
Which
like-
means that it was Quinn.
Right too. And it
What?
let me in.
Oh
What
my
I do?
god!
I think that you're Chloe,
Oh, yeah.
though I can't remember at all what that sounds like.
I
Whatever it is, say
definitely
this
have never
glorious
been
line.
Chloe,
I don't.
but I will be Chloe
Okay.
now. I will assume the mantle
Yeah.
Kitchen.
passed down for generations.
Take this upon your shoulders.
And Raimi doesn't go anywhere without his pajamas on.
Chloe
Oh
states.
shit! I was Chloe. I know now because that was the exact voice that I was doing for Chloe. So that was
Chloe is
perfect.
the alternative one? I thought Chloe was the new one. I thought that Chloe was...
I think Chloe is Rayford's daughter.
Right.
Yeah.
Daughter of
You
Cage.
guys ruined this wonderful line. When they make the movie, this is going to be the tagline. And Raimi doesn't go anywhere without his pajamas on.
It's haunting. Okay, now this is Reba here.
Well, we are going to find them. I'll call the police, fill out a missing persons report.
Reba replies, picking up the phone and dialing the local police.
It's catching.
Hello, I'm Reba Steele, and I would like to file 2 missing persons reports. Why is that funny? Okay, bye.
Reba hangs up the phone.
So last chapter.
It's only
Last chapter.
it's only Monday. Tomorrow's 2 for Tuesday.
Right.
Last chapter, the author made a point of saying that Rayford waited while the phone rang, but that wasn't stated here. So I think she just dialed the police and started like, "Hello, I'm Reba Steele."
That makes sense. She thought the ringing of the phone was them laughing at her.
Yeah.
I think that
She's
she's
used to
leaving a
people laughing at
message,
her-
and it's
at
a
her
joke
name.
message. It's leaving a message. Hello, I'm Reba Steele, and I would like to file 2 missing persons reports. I got you.
Why
Why
is
is that funny? Okay, bye. Oh, and then she gets it. She gets a message. Oh, okay, bye.
Okay, now we're at Cheyenne. That's me. Do we say Reba hangs up the phone? She does, just in case.
Yes.
What did he say?
Cheyenne asks as Van rubs her shoulders.
He laughed at me, and then he hung up.
Reba says,
Mom, what am
Well,
I
she said
going?
goodbye anyway.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, bye. That does seem like something she would do, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, bye. But it's not. It's like it takes an actress to milk that out of this writing.
But- right. Mom, what am I going to do? My little girl is missing. What? When did that happen? I can't just sit here and do nothing.
Cheyenne cries with crocodile tears in her eyes.
That
Wait,
What?
don't
reveals a
crocodiles
lot
have
about her
your favorite?
character.
Okay, no, guys, come on. She's literally
really,
got
yeah.
some crocodile tears
She got him from
Frozen
Goop or something.
with.
It's another
From some holy
character.
water or
Cheyenne
something.
cries with crocodile, tears in her eyes.
Maybe you know, like how some people get like a monkey heart because maybe her tear ducts. Maybe that was like a season 2 Reba plot
Right,
line where her
right.
tear ducts were seared off in some sort of tragic biscuit baking malady, and she had to get crocodile tear ducts
Tear
implanted.
ducts.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, this is
And
Reba.
honey,
Sorry.
Cheyenne, honey, we are going to find her. We just haven't looked hard enough for her.
Reba replies,
Like I always said, God bakes the biscuits. I just kick them under the fridge.
I think the dog gets him or something.
Did God? I missed last week. Did God bake some biscuits?
No, it's just how Reba always says, God makes the biscuits, I just butter them.
Yeah, that thing
No,
that
I don't.
Reba is
That's her
widely known
catchphrase.
for saying.
Now I do. I didn't.
Check Wikipedia in 10 to 15 minutes and you'll...
Okay, I'm about to scream out, so get ready.
Oh, God.
If it were your little girl, you would search the ends of the earth for her.
Cheyenne screams out as she stands up to run out. Reba grabs a hold of her arm.
Cheyenne, we are doing our best to find her.
Reba says sternly.
Let me go.
Cheyenne hollers as she tries to get away from Reba, but she's got too good of a grip on her.
I know it's
Somebody
hard.
from Cheyenne hollers.
I know it's hard. This is the wrong it's.
Yeah.
I have a child and a grandchild missing. It's not easy on any of us.
Reba yells.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I know it's hard. I have a child and a grandchild missing. It's not easy on any of us. The
Reba
first two
yells.
sentences had periods, and so I had to obey them.
She was working up to that scream at the end there, I guess.
Yeah.
Spitfire says, I wasn't paying attention for a minute. Is the author implying Cheyenne's tears for her missing daughter were fake? Or, yes, that is what crocodile tears imply.
Yeah,
I don't think that's what they meant, though. Right?
I'm sure they just...
Why they would
You have to
Actually,
trust the
Like,
artistic
is she
vision.
going to...
Oh, God,
is
you
she
started
the
the...
twist villain?
This is like the schism in the Catholic Church that you started again here, Spitfire.
Okay.
Why would they even clarify what kind of tears they were?
I know.
My
I have so many
guess-
I
questions.
don't know. She thinks that there's something. She thinks
My
there's some...
my guess is that she's thinking crocodiles are big, so crocodile tears are very big. Like it's
Sure.
huge.
I
Right,
put
and
money
she's
on
never
that. Yeah.
actually had it defined for her ever.
Okay.
You
Well,
think
I
they're
feel
tears
we
the
need to
size of a
send,
crocodile?
I think we need to send Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, a
Yeah.
Yelp review here.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. This serious question. Serious question here. Serious question. Do you think? Now, I think I know the answer to Man of the Year, but do you think Dr. Quinn would appreciate? Like, I don't know if
What we're doing here, or
No. The fan art. I don't know if there's a way to upload it to fan fiction or whatever as a review.
no, not to fanfiction.net, but
Yeah, I wonder if they
Yeah.
would appreciate fan art.
only one way to find out.
Yeah, I mean, people do that, and then they will just like make a post about them if it's if they're really. Oh, they're probably not active at all.
Well, didn't we find her books or something on Amazon?
Yes.
Right,
Hey.
but I
yeah,
assume
it
it would
was a
be just
grown
as
woman, isn't
difficult to send something to Amazon.
Well, no,
offer.
we just write a review for her book on Amazon and say, please look at our fan art.
Look, I obviously didn't mind, I obviously didn't bother reading this piece of shit, but look at this.
Right. Hey, check out our fan art of this other crappy thing you did. 1 star.
If you want the full 5 stars, you'll look at our fan art.
Okay, I'm going to read
And
the
give
last
us a
line
llama.
of this section. Fine, just let me go.
Cheyenne says, Reba lets go of her daughter and hugs her tightly, but Cheyenne pushes away and runs up the stairs.
All these says seem to me like a weird tribal,
Right, yeah.
It says,
a tale. Remember, Cheyenne says. It's like the lesson of the whole story is they say, this is why we say.
Well, that's
Cheyenne
I'm
says only you can prevent forest fires.
I'm trying to very harshly emphasize it since it is its own sentence.
You're doing a very good job of that, yes.
Yeah. I want to make it clear that, separately of the dialogue, Cheyenne says. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. It gives me a small amount of pleasure.
See, but it's just like, yeah, it's like a long term thing. Cheyenne says it is part of her being.
Right.
I'm trying to pull as inspiration the Kid Cudi song "Make Her Say," where it's like "Make Her Say." So I just go for like Cheyenne says. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, not important, but there's a little
welcome to
peek behind
Cheyenne
the
Say.
Could go off onto a tangent on "Make Her Say," but we're going to start the next section.
At the end of this chapter, we're going to straighten out, fly right, and actually make progress. I promise. But give us one more paragraph.
No more goddamn jokes. All right. Buck Williams was in New York City trying to get to the Global Weekly office. It was a madhouse. From what he had heard, people had disappeared, even from Global Weekly. A notorious atheist shithole.
Yeah,
when the Global Weekly people disappear, the world has only 1 week left, or so says Albert Einstein.
Buck got an email from Steve Plank saying that he needed to get back. What? I'm just going. That he needed to get back to the New York office as soon as he could. Now, look, I know you might be unclear as to whether this author shares Steve Plank's.
I was just going to ask.
But I think that'll be clear soon.
I think to tell people who might be new here.
The author does not share Steve Plank's views on God. That was in an author's
note. Steve Plank a real person?
No.
Wow.
He's this fictional character who's an atheist.
A lot to explain.
Can you imagine if there was a real Steve Plank that was like this super influential?
Right, like he's like oh god, what's that guy called? When God Isn't Great. That guy Hitchens. He's like Hitchens, you know.
Right.
Oh yeah.
When Buck walks in the office, Marge Potter falls all over him.
As she is wont to do.
Like Gangly Man.
Okay.
Who wants Marge?
Oh, blimey! You've hit me with a pot of Marge Potter. So I think it's a pastry or something.
It's like it was set up in a bucket, propped up on the door, so that when he walks in, it falls all over
for hitting an otter.
Who wants Marge Potter? I don't want Marge. I've got enough voices. Tracy, you're Marge.
I'm already in this scene. No, I'm Steve Plank.
You're Steve Plank?
Okay, I'll be Marge.
Okay.
All right, go for it.
Am I glad to see you? So many people have disappeared. I am just glad that you aren't one of them. And that you can be with us, Marge says.
Marge says.
Sorry.
That's goddamn it.
I'm sorry. I just was overcome. I was in the moment.
It's hard.
I'm sorry.
I am glad to be here too. I am sorry that so many people have disappeared. Did you hear that? Lucinda Washington is gone.
Buck asks.
Gone?
Really?
What a way to tell us, the reader.
I know. So much I was really invested in Lucinda Washington there. Marge questions. Steve Plank walks past them. When he sees Buck, he stops.
Hey there, Buck. The Buck stops here. Steve Plank. Glad to see you.
Steve says.
This is Marge.
Is that me? Marge.
Yeah.
Mr. Plank, did you hear about Lucinda Washington in Chicago?
Marge asks. Steve just looks at Marge, so he's got a line, obviously.
So, is Lucinda gone, Marge?
Steve asks. Marge nods.
Buck, it's going to be your job to go make sure that somebody takes over for her.
Steve says.
Yes, Steve.
Buck replies.
I'm starting to think that Steve Plank may actually be the dishonorable Steve Plank.
He started that whole planking phrase, didn't he?
How can the author put such life into a character like Steve Plank.
Or Lucinda
not expect
Washington.
Especially when they don't share their religious views.
I know.
How do they know?
If the author doesn't share Steve Plank's views on God, I don't know what to believe anymore.
I'm a little
Faith is
terrified.
shattered.
I'm a little terrified of the next chapter because it's Christopher's suicide, which I don't know if I trust this
And
author
it's
to
coming
handle
fast, boy.
such a heavy.
We've got like 10
such a
sentences before we're at the apex of this event.
Jeez. Okay. Are we ready for chapter 9? Are we continuing with this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
he's
right.
been busy with his schooling.
Yeah. Author's note. Sorry for not writing since 2009. I've been busy with my schooling. Just like about 150 others.
This was
Every day
published
down-
in December 8th, 2009, wasn't it? Oh, no. Okay. I see.
Like
Chat's asking who's Christopher.
maybe
it looks like it's the
means
co-pilot.
that like
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
one
yeah, the
I will
telepathic
remind you
psychic
who
Yeah, the psychic
encouraged Rayford to
Right.
cheat on his wife.
Right.
But apparently, okay, right. He's not married. He's not raptured. That makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
the telepathic.
Just
co-pilot,
like
yes.
Just like about 150 others, Reba and Rayford Steele were sitting inside the New Hope Village Church in Mount Prospect, Illinois.
Well,
Young-looking...
This is a complete jump. What the hell?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
They haven't been writing
young-
since
like they
2009, but the story had continued without them.
It sounds like they were teleported there.
a young-looking man in his pajamas walked up to the pulpit. So this is Brutch Barnes.
That's the guy that doesn't
visitation
go anywhere
pastor?
without his pajamas.
brunch? Is that a typo?
Looking
No,
to see if
that's-
it's brought up anywhere else. I
That's
guess
it.
not.
It's Brutch
Look,
Barnes.
Barnes.
I'll take.
If
Brutch
anybody
Barnes.
watching is named Brutch, I apologize, and I will completely correct myself. But that's a stupid ass name, and I don't think anybody has it.
I'm gonna voice him as if it's Bruce Barnes, the pastor of this church.
Yeah, that makes more sense, probably.
Yeah.
But we'll all know in our hearts that his name is now.
Well,
Once
no,
they all
that's a
realize
typical
that
problem.
they're all unraptured people, they all get rougher sounding names. So they can.
Yes, that's probably it.
Do you think Rayford's
Bruce
a
is my
little?
old name.
Do you think
Brutch.
Call me Brutch.
right, like in the new world, he's taken on the name Brutch.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think
Come
Rayford's a
on down
little?
to Brutch Barnes, where the firstborn free.
Do you think Rayford is a little sad that Reba didn't get raptured so he could like have his way with Hattie?
We'll find out.
I mean,
probably
That
next
really
chapter.
killed the room. That was
He is,
wow.
he is Nick Cage, so
I don't know
we'll
what
never
it
know
means.
what he's thinking.
Okay.
Did you not see our fan art? Damn it, that was Hattie.
But she's just a flight attendant. A harlot of the skies.
right, but he was tempted.
Floating
He was
penis
tempted.
receptacle.
I know you have a lot of questions. If you could all go home for a few hours, I could help you later on.
He runs the Red Cross. Just keep
I mean, to
pressure
be
on
fair,
it, okay?
he's in his pajamas. I mean, it's not like
I need time to come up with
I
this
love
shit.
it, guys. Please, I need space. Can you all just go home for a few hours?
All of my suits got raptured. I don't know why.
Brutch Barnes, the visitation pastor, says into the microphone.
That's
Oh.
what he said.
Here's
A
the
man.
co-pilot. Does anybody?
man.
This is Chris Smith, co-pilot. Does anybody remember who did Chris?
I was Chris Smith.
Okay.
Okay.
I was. Okay.
Gotta write these down.
Help us now! Tell me where my wife and children are.
A little more crazed. I think he's at his wit's end here.
Yeah. It's help us now. Help us now. Tell me where my wife and children are. He was
A man-
being really rude. He was
man-
mean to Nick.
A man screamed from behind Rayford. He and Reba both turned to look at him. Rayford recognizes him as Chris Smith, his co-pilot.
Wait, how are two tenses colliding? Is that the real plot?
Chris?
Rayford hollers to him.
Can't take it anymore.
Chris hollers. Before Rayford can get
You know
to him,
somebody from Chris Hollers too.
Before Rayford can get to him, Chris has pulled a knife out of his sleeve and cut his left wrist.
Out of his sleeve?
Is he an
He didn't mean to cut his
And
wrist.
somehow the ramp up on this chapter is half a sentence. It just
Yeah.
Came out of nowhere.
Look, it's called Christopher's Suicide, and it literally fits in one page in my browser. So like, you knew it had to be.
does. That is good writing.
Also, I love that his co-pilot happens to be at the same church he's at.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
He just came running into a church because Christians think if you need help, you just go to a cathedral and flop in between the pews and
Help
He's like
us
the
now.
ultimate Karen. He says, "Help me now,"
Everything.
and if you don't do it within 1 second, he cuts his wrist.
Right, yeah, he just asked for help. The pastor didn't even respond. He screamed and then went for it. Like,
And they
Before I
pulled
can
a
answer, you
kunai
bled
out of
out.
his sleeve and slashed his slashed his arm.
Just think about so Misha says, too bad there's nothing the 150 people nearby can do about it. And I was just thinking, the poor approximately 150 people nearby who are having this vein just spurt on them.
Spitfire says it's like the Assassin's Creed Spring Blade, but instead plunges directly into your own wrist.
look, I made my own,
Your own
Mom.
doomsday weapon.
It's like, aha, psh, and then it just slices, right? And it's like, oh shit,
There goes my
I made a
hand.
design flaw.
Okay, so
Nick
I
Cage.
miscounted the gears and the direction that it would slide.
Okay. Is anybody else having stream issues? I think I might just need to refresh the page.
Dream issues?
Okay,
Dream.
we're still
Yes.
streaming. Okay.
Yeah, there's like these birds.
Yeah,
that
there was
attack
just
my
a hiccup
face,
on
and
our
I'm
It
in
stopped
algebra
briefly,
in my
yeah.
underwear.
Not Steam, Misha, Dream.
Oh,
Damn it.
Okay. Chris!
Rayford hollers to him.
We passed hollers. This
Oh,
is
he's
a
dying
scream.
again? This is a scream.
Oh, sorry. Rayford screams. Two of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Rayford screams. He falls to the floor and starts sobbing. He crawls over to Chris as the blood continues to flow out of Chris's body. Rayford just watches
150
him.
people just got raptured. It was the secondary rapture, apparently.
Reba runs over to Rayford.
Yeah,
she knows that he's about to go into the floor because this is
Yeah.
the same exact thing that he did in Raimi's room.
Rafe.
Wait. Oh,
She co-
we have to go. The kids are all waiting for us at home. If he can't help us, if he can't help it, we might as well go.
Yeah, those are
Reba
two
said-
separate thoughts.
Reba says, pulling Rayford up off the floor. Rayford is delirious.
And delicious.
I knew him. Chris wasn't the kind of person to commit suicide. How could he do this? How could he have committed suicide?
How could he have committed suicide?
He loved his wife.
also, he's still dying next to you. Like, yeah, it's
No,
not
he's
dead
dead
yet.
now.
It might have been a really big knife up his
He
sleeve.
cut his entire
I
hand
just-
off.
Super high blood pressure.
Rayford,
Tristan,
What?
hold on a second. Tristan, this is Nicolas Cage, and I kind of need you to step up for these emotional scenes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Nicolas Cage is Rayford still. Very-
I knew him. I knew him. Chris wasn't the kind of person to commit suicide. He loved his wife.
Rayford says,
Loved my wife. He loved everybody's wife.
Reba has her arm around him.
He encouraged me to cheat on you. I should have listened.
From what I heard, his wife is gone.
What did you hear?
His sons are two. Her sons are two. He's all by himself.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he did this.
Reba replies.
Reba replies. We can learn from Reba. Reba replies.
When is this going to end? When am I going to find Raimi? How many more chapters are there? There's like 7. Is it really going to wrap up in that time?
Yeah, it does not seem enough. Yeah.
Why did my son have to be taken?
Going, yeah.
Rayford questions. As they walk to the car, there is a light in the dark sky. It looks like a cross, but nobody would notice it.
They're walking away. Meanwhile, Chris is laying there like, I'm not dead yet. As their mother walking away. Why would he do this? Like, he's there bleeding like, I'm not dead yet.
And Brutch is like, I gotta go to bed, y'all. I just,
Yeah, I'm
Come
just,
back in a
Now, see
couple
what happened?
hours.
I
I'll
told you
try
to
to
leave.
scrounge
You
up a
didn't.
Band-Aid
But-
for you.
But I as funny as that is, we cannot overlook that everybody just left and a flaming cross showed up in the sky, but nobody notices it.
Well, it
Nor
was like
would
apparently
they.
faint enough.
Nobody
would
they?
notice it.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Just like them.
Is
not
that
to
just
notice.
like?
They were all
That
Steve
still could be
Planks.
coincidence, but just an omniscient narrator.
Yeah.
It looks like a cross, but nobody would notice it.
No, they wouldn't.
I'm excited for the point when we find out that Steve Plank was Jesus all along.
No, he's
do not
literally
share
the
that
cross
view.
that they crucified. That he's the Antichrist. He's the cross.
All right, so are we continuing with this or going to a different one?
I'm going over to Venom's New Beginning.
Plank.
So, do you think that the author actually called him Plank for the plank in your eye? You think that they were that deep?
Maybe. We're gonna meet Arthur Speck later.
Not if that was if that happened, it was by the author of Left Behind.
Yeah, but the Left Behind series is pretty god awful, so I would not put it past them.
Whatever.
It's what you step on before jumping into the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
What are we on? Chapter 10 or are we
yes.
further?
But they're a constant. So
I made that joke last time and nobody was happy.
I wasn't here. I'm sorry. I would have laughed hilariously. I would have just.
I said whether you're for or against Steve Plank, you have to admit that he's constant. But I said it. I don't know. I said it even better than that.
I would have fallen on the floor and put my face in the floor.
One thing you can say about him is that Steve Plank's constant. There we go. Okay, chapter 10.
Now that that's sorted.
Hey, we got that workshopped. So move on.
After Eddie had finished giving Elsa the ride of her life, what happened last chapter?
Hold on. I'm gonna go back.
Oh, right. He grabbed her and they flew around. Right. Okay.
That's right.
They returned,
and then they landed on a roof at supernatural speed, and then.
Oh, right. Extremely
By the
natural.
way, I'm working on art if you want to.
Okay, yeah. The author's note ended with "Peace out," and here we are.
Peace in.
So Spitfire was saying about Chris there after cutting himself. I feel fine. Think I'll go for a walk. And Misha says it's a whole new world type of ride. Hello. I don't know anything about Disneyland to make any more jokes there, but yes. Is that Disneyland?
It's from Aladdin.
Okay, yeah. I've seen Aladdin. I should have got that. Chapter 10.
Wait a minute. This was written by Mikhail Gorbachev.
Was it?
Yeah, because
Man of the Year 1989.
he was Man of the Year in 1989.
Wow.
Well, aren't
I had
we
no
in the
idea
know?
Fun
that
fact.
eminent Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev was so skilled at writing fan fiction.
And so this is about his favorite movie or his favorite character is Venom, and his wife's favorite movie is Frozen. So
Yeah.
I'll have to change. After Eddie had finished giving Elsa the ride of her life, they returned to her balcony at the ice castle. Once they arrived there, the two of them sat out on the balcony and waited for the sun to come up. It was midday, so it was going to take a while. After that, they managed to fall asleep together and rested for another 3 hours before the rest of the group started to wake up in the castle. Awaking with her head resting on Eddie's chest, Elsa gently... Oh my god, that's so convoluted there. Awaking with her head resting on Eddie's chest, Elsa gently looked up to see that he was still out. She smiled and whispered,
Mission accomplished.
So Eddie was out. He was gone. And he left his chest here. I mean, he is Venom. He could do that.
All right, who's going to take Elsa? Because it had been Tracy.
I think Eddie took her.
oh, right, it was Tracy's drawing. Yeah.
The hell, I'll do it. I don't care.
Poor guy.
The Snow Queen considered waking him up, but he looked so peaceful.
I guess even Superman needs sleep too.
She mused. She gently got up.
If
She
I took
gently
a
got
nap, would you still call me Superman?
I mean, she's a superhero too. It just drives me nuts.
Right.
She gently.
Plus, his powers
I'm
make him
not
turn into a monster. It's not.
Yeah.
She gently got up to freshen up and get ready for the day. Once Elsa was finished, she returned to the balcony only to see that Eddie was gone.
Where did he go?
She asked herself. It was then Eddie. Drinking game for Left Behind is they just stared at him and then they give a response. Drinking game for this is it was then. It was then Eddie landed in front of her. It was then Eddie landed in. It was then Eddie landed in front of her, causing the Queen to jump. Seeing that he surprised her, Eddie smiled and apologized.
Sorry.
Is Tristan gone? Did he?
Sorry, I decided to create a counter for.
Oh, okay.
It was then. Wait, where are we? I got it. Sorry, beautiful.
Tristan, it is the. Then, without warning, she approached him, causing them to lock lips again. Then, pulling away, she smiled and greeted.
Good morning, my hero.
As the two lovers embraced one another, Eddie couldn't help but think,
this is going to be a good day.
A few minutes later, they met up with Kristoff, Anna, Olaf, and Sven and departed from the castle. The journey off the main mountain was actually enjoyable. Kristoff was driving the sleigh with Anna cuddled up close to him, resting her head on his shoulder. Elsa sat on the far side of the bench, and Olaf was in the very back in his own little world. Meanwhile, Eddie was in his Venom form, web-slinging high above their heads. The group couldn't help but be in a state of wonder as they watched him soar above them with great ease. Because they'd never seen anyone with friggin' powers before.
He's a giant slobbery monster with huge teeth and a long tongue.
Just for the sake of
Spotter's Guide.
Just for the sake of entertaining them, Eddie even performed dangerous web-slinging tricks. He even caused Elsa to gasp and panic a couple of times, for she thought he was about to fall to his death. But much to her relief, he was still in full control of his showboating and always seemed to evade death at the last second. I picture him like
He's just swinging from trees. He's only like 15 feet above the ground.
I picture him
They're
like
not
all.
skyscrapers.
I picture him like almost going into mountains and being like, ah, woo, you know. Just,
Yeah, he's doing he's doing the George of the Jungle thing.
yeah.
Watch out for that tree. Oh,
Yeah.
he
About
always
2
seems
hours-
to obey death at the last second.
About 2 hours later, the group was finally off of the mountain and it entered between a small ravine. What did they enter? Okay. If it was just Venom, he would have been off the mountain in only a fraction of that time.
You're slowing him down, is what you're saying.
But he
You're
didn't
just
mind.
illusion.
But he didn't mind sticking with the humans below him. He would wait all day if he had to. He would do anything for Elsa. The sleigh was speeding along until they came across a large boulder that had obstructed the road. Kristoff threw his hands up in frustration and said,
Great. Just my luck.
if it was any other time, he'd have to redirect the sleigh and find another way around. But it wasn't any other time, for they had a superhuman with them.
I have two.
Yeah. Couple of them.
Unfortunately, it wasn't another time.
It was them.
I'm on it.
Brock shouted from above as he descended down to the boulder. Without any effort, he picked up the boulder and lifted it over his head with both hands. He then made his own face appear as he looked... Oh, okay, right, all right. He then made his own face appear as he looked over to Elsa and winked at her, causing her to smile and shake her head playfully. Turning his attention back to the boulder, Eddie threw it with all of his might into the air, and then it was gone.
It did the anime star twinkle in the sky.
It hit the moon.
They didn't have enough money to keep animating that cell. Although they never saw the boulder again.
Boulder is going on its own little adventure.
It's
It's so
like
forlorn. It's so sad.
I tried to read that like the last line of Stand By Me, you know? We never saw each other after that summer. Although they never saw the boulder again, the group could hear it make impact somewhere in the unseen distance. The unseen distance? He threw it that
And Frederick, who lived in a small cottage, he sure saw the boulder again.
Unseen.
Boy, did he.
hard. So Spitfire says superheroes defeating minor traffic delays with ease. That's, it's true. Boom! Eddie then looked over his shoulder to the others and said,
Problem solved. Boom.
Zero.
This Spider-Man could have gotten a kaboom out of it. I'm just saying. As they watched the symbiote
that's
cover his
Spider-Man.
face again.
Oh, how I hate that Spider-Man.
As they watched the symbiote cover his face again, he quickly shot out some more web and went back to slinging in the air.
Is that a poop joke?
Shoot out some web real quick.
I thought it was an ejaculation joke, but it's just me.
Well, of course I did too, but they're children.
You got me. Okay.
Wait, you guys, your poop isn't web-like? I gotta make an appointment.
Kristoff looked to Anna and playfully joked,
Sure wish I had his strength. I'd sell some major ice that way. By chucking it into the unseen distance.
It got weird, Kristoff. Got real weird.
The unseen distance.
I assume he's talking about meth.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Do you think like Elsa's getting a little upset if they're all like, "Oh wow, we're in the presence of a superhero with powers"?
Elsa could have taken care of that boulder. So.
Right,
Well,
right,
no,
yeah.
she knows that she's been relegated to damsel in distress for this thing.
What's she
Yeah,
gonna
she's
do? Make
pretty
the
okay with
boulder
her.
cold? Ooh.
Or, freeze it to a point where it cracked, or create a nice slide over it, or, any of a dozen other things. But no, instead, let the friggin'
Look, Michael, just let it go.
Let it go.
You've got to let
If
it
I
go.
knew any of the other goddamn lyrics of that song, I would try to make a comedic comeback, but
Yeah.
It'll never bother me anyway. That's all I know.
I'll workshop it. He then continued driving the sleigh through the ravine, following Venom. For the next 5 minutes, the sleigh made its way without any events or setbacks of any kind. It's kind of like the Oregon Trail now. We get updated on every... Elsa's restless night was starting to catch up with her as her eyelids started to get heavy and closed. As she began to drift off to sleep, she had no idea that...
closed.
As she began to drift off to sleep, she had no idea that Eddie was now on top of the ravine watching her.
Now, are they starting to get heavy and close, or are they starting to get heavy and close? Like
No,
they're
that could
drawing
be.
near to her face. Whoa, your
Well, they
eyelids
better
are getting
stop
pretty
that or their
close.
lips will lock.
Okay. She's just as beautiful when she sleeps as she is awake.
Eddie Brock said, as he turned fully human and descended down to the sleigh with a leap of faith. When he closed in on the bottom, he gracefully landed on his feet with the symbiote powers and walked over to the sleigh. He began walking along with the sleigh on Elsa's side to watch over and protect his sleeping queen. Looking over to Eddie and smiling at him, Anna said,
You truly love her, don't you?
Eddie gave off a small smile and answered,
Gave off.
he gave off a small smile.
Like an Animal Crossing
Floated
character.
off.
Wait, is he
Yeah.
still Venom here?
Yeah.
No, he's human
So how
now.
does...
Misha says, heteronormativity
Venom
never
can't
bothered
small
me
smile.
anyway.
I mean, he gracefully landed on his feet with the symbiote powers.
Yeah.
It's true.
Okay.
So in order to do that, he had to
So is-
partially turn into Venom.
Yeah.
So
So his ankles were Venom.
Yeah. He's just wearing Venom booties.
It's like instead of cankles, he has venkles.
They're Uggs, but like drippy tar Uggs.
Okay. More than anything in the world.
Explaining his cheesiness, Eddie then said,
I feel like I should explain my cheesiness. When I first became Venom, it was like the old me had died, and with it, my sense of love and mercy, most of it anyway. And I was right to think that. I was gone. But when I met Elsa, all of that changed. She brought me back.
As Eddie poured out his heart to Anna, he had no idea that Elsa had woke up in time to hear him. Deciding not to ruin the moment, the queen kept her eyes closed and listened to her new boyfriend. Both Eddie and Elsa agreed to make their relationship official the previous night.
Okay.
By the way, Dad.
Also, they've
Supposed
been
to be
looking for
parentheses.
Raimi this whole
And you're
time.
Of course.
Elsa's heart began to melt as she listened to Eddie Brock put his feelings for her out here. Despite the fact that their relationship was speeding along very fast, she still felt that they were making the right choice. The Snow Queen had never felt this way for anyone before in her life, and of course Eddie felt the same way. They may have been from two completely different worlds and social classes, but they both knew their differences were not a problem. Eddie may not notice it yet, but as far as she was concerned, he truly was a superhero, and more importantly, her hero.
A super duper hero.
A few minutes later, they were finally through the unusually long ravine when Eddie
Does it
suddenly
change
stopped.
size?
I love these things as like actual names.
Oh yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking of
long
what-
ravine.
I
Well,
was
of unusual size.
Like the
that's exactly
Rats of-
yeah
exactly.
yeah. Ravines yeah. When Eddie suddenly stopped and put his fist up, signaling for Kristoff to halt the sleigh. He then turned to the others with his finger to his nose, indicating for them to be quiet. Is that what that?
No,
Nobody
he's saying,
sniff.
we gotta go. So if you need to sneeze, do it now.
At this point,
It
Elsa
means
was
I want cocaine. Hey, snow lady, you can make some snow, right? That's what I hear.
Be quiet.
At this point, Elsa was already up and watched Eddie along with the others. Kristoff managed to get Brock's attention and mouthed
What?
to him.
What?
Eddie looked over to them and whispered, "Something is coming. It's the rapture. Are you ready? Do you know Jesus Christ?" As he said that, a huge sense of dread drifted over the group as they looked all around them for the coming danger.
But they wouldn't notice that.
That sentence could have used about 3 more asses in it. The winter landscape, which only moments before seemed bright and wonderful, now felt like a frozen wasteland. The wind howled and the temperature began dropping at an unnatural rate. Preparing for the oncoming battle, Eddie let the symbiote cover him and became Venom. Then in his inhuman voice, he looked over to Kristoff and said, "When I say to leave, and don't you dare look back. Understand?"
I say 2.
Oh, I see it.
1.
When I say to leave, and don't you dare look back. Understand? That ellipses really does make it seem like he's like, when I say to, what's that word? You know, it means like when you're not there anymore. Yeah.
Man.
When I say 2, you say much. 2.
Please. Choosing to appease Venom, Kristoff nodded and drew his sword out for protection against whatever was coming. That's not appeasing Venom. That's doing the opposite of what he said.
Right. You're supposed to be preparing to leave.
Annalene, maybe Kristoff thinks he means like, obviously kill a few guys first, but then at some point I'm going to tell you to leave.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe that was implied in the ellipses. Anna leaned closer to him while Elsa got close to her. Meanwhile, Olaf hid under a blanket and whispered to himself,
Tracy, you do the best Olaf voice. Can you say, "It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, Eddie will beat him up"?
Okay, but nobody thinks I do a good Olaf, including
I think it's
The best
wonderful,
of all
honey.
of us.
I mean, it's a relative term.
What is the line?
It's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, Eddie will beat him up.
Be okay. No, my gosh. Okay. It's gonna,
All right.
It's gonna be okay.
Never mind.
It's gonna be okay.
This was a bad idea from the start.
Listen up. I need quiet to work my genius. This Olaf impression. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm a dumbass snowman. I'm the worst thing, but not quite horrible enough. Not like Minions horrible, but just enough to piss you off a little bit. And by the way, here I am in my own adventure when you're trying to watch the long-awaited Incredibles 2!
It wasn't in front of, it was the, Coco, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Complete side note, but I believe Olaf is canonically 5 foot 4 inches tall, so he's gigantic.
Wait, for real? Well, then
Yeah.
he's movie huge.
You can Google how tall is Olaf the Snowman, and he's 5 feet 4 inches tall.
Well, then how the hell
It would be like Avatar size.
No,
not
it's
me.
like 3 foot tall. But he is the snow monster, though.
No, it's
How-
proven.
Huh?
Could be larger or smaller if he chose. Change
Mythbusters
his
did it.
form a little bit. Like,
We all could.
okay, so we
snowball
gotta
fight.
keep doing
How did we
Poker
come
before
to
we
this
go live.
Yeah,
Because this is great. I was kind of picturing his voice a little more Charles Nelson Riley. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Eddie will beat him up.
sure.
That was the
He
cowardly
barely
lion.
avoids
That was
Yes,
a little
it was-
bit
okay, yes.
cowardly
stupid
lion, yeah.
silly voice. Like there's heart in it.
Beat him up. Meanwhile, Sven had his ears back, scanning his surroundings.
Is he a cat? Oh no, he's a
Reindeer.
reindeer. Right. It's not.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was keep forgetting that. Yeah.
But still, it's just. Spitfire says, "I know Norsemen are tall, but holy shit." A low roar came from Venom as he saw a dark figure emerge from the distance. Who or whatever it was slowly walked toward them as if he had all of the time in the world. When the figure closed in on them, it looked as if his eyes shone green. What happened next frightened the two sisters, Kristoff, Sven, and Olaf, to the core. I love when these authors list every single person one by one.
Just what we needed. Another self-insert.
I thought Olaf was hiding under a blanket.
Well, what happened next, I guess it's going to have an audible...
Okay.
The figure leapt into the air, and then with terrifying speed, he landed only a few feet in front of them.
Again, everybody has the ability to accelerate their landing. They leap up, and then they land even faster.
The figure's
Like Super
appearance...
Mario Brothers, you can control in midair.
Yeah.
I mean, to be...
Oh yeah, maybe it's a ground pound.
To be fair, if somebody like ground pounded in front of me, it would probably freak me out too.
Yeah.
The figure's appearance caused everyone to shrink in fear at the sight of its hideous appearance, except Venom, who only filled with rage. This is its whole thought. Who only filled with rage?
Who only filled with rage? Who?
Ooh, man with a beak.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I was gonna do a reference to a David Byrne and St. Vincent song, but it struck me as maybe too obscure.
Oh, that's going to be...
Well, you already did half the joke. Are you sure you don't want to finish your joke, Tristan? And nobody will
No, it didn't fit the cadence anyway.
I was going to make a reference to a small skirmish when the Han Dynasty had a minor uprising, but
I know that one.
I was going to reference a poem I wrote in high school in my journal and no one's ever read.
But nobody here is cool enough to get it, so like...
Who are you?
He roared at the creature. The creature flickered its fork-shaped tongue at him and hissed.
That's the clue. We also had fan art of that.
We got art of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to share it.
Great.
Can we, are we able to share that publicly, or is that beyond our means?
I can try. Continue with
I do
your...
love that picture. That's
I mean,
done.
if somebody else takes serpentine, then I could do that. Who wants serpentine?
But who could?
I have I've never heard serpentine.
Serpentine
Wait,
is
Serpentine has a
Hans.
country accent? No, that's
He's the
fine.
OC villain that Hans turns into. The Hans.
I just imagine him talking. I just imagine
Well,
him talking.
serpentine, you have exactly 5 seconds to get out of the way.
Perfect.
Oh, that's very.
Wait, so I must have missed that last week. So Hans, the
that was
Swedish
a
guy,
reveal. Yeah.
No, not the Swedish guy.
Not the Swedish guy. Hans is the
very tough
love
song for
interest.
real,
They
by the
did
way.
the
I like
"Love's
that.
an Open Door" song with Hans, and then he turned out to be
But he was
evil.
the villain from the movie.
Yes.
Okay,
That was an open back door, if you know. Anyways,
it would have
But it
been.
was such a tossed off, like, oh, wait, was that a big reveal? Like, there could have been some sort of anything to make us realize
it
this
came
is
out
important.
of nowhere.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it
wanted-
was just dropped into the.
yeah, it did.
Yeah, it was just like a serpentine now in his Hans form. Blah blah blah. That was the only. reveal.
By the way, Kevin, you did the line afterwards.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I did the wrong line. You want me to do serpentine?
Yeah, come on, give us a
You may
hissing-
call me serpentine.
But where are all the S's? Damn it!
Yeah.
You may call me serpentine.
There we go.
Damn it!
Now we need Venom back.
Well, Serpentine, you have exactly 5 seconds to get out of the way, or we will make you move.
Venom said.
By dropping
Venom
a sick
describe
beat.
Hearing Venom describe himself as "we" sent a shiver down everyone's spine. Why wouldn't they just assume he was referring to all of them? I mean, that seems weird.
Yeah, he hasn't been talking.
Maybe that's why it sends a shiver down their spine.
They're like, I don't want to fight this guy. Especially
They're afraid of
Elsa.
Nintendos that make you exercise.
When he described himself that way, they knew the symbiote was speaking as well. An evil smile broke out on Serpentine's face, revealing his viper fangs. He then said,
Ooh.
I wonder whom I shall kill first. Mountain Man, perhaps? The princess? Or maybe the Snow Queen?
He said as he shifted his diamond-shaped pupils to each person. Oh, Carnage is back now.
And we've
that
established
Tracy?
that because of his yellow eyes and diamond-shaped pupils, he literally has Crow T Robot's eyeballs. That's canon.
Yeah.
You gotta draw that.
Okay, sorry. Whose line is this?
Carnage, and I
know,
think
it's
that
a
was
boy.
Tracy, right?
No, it was me. I was doing all the voices in this.
Oh, okay.
I'm still getting that picture though. Just 1 second. I have it saved to the
Not once upon a
desktop.
time.
Here it is.
And young.
There's Serpentine with his fork-shaped tongue.
Classic.
Okay.
So
Good
fork-shaped
business.
tongue and Crow T Robot eyes. Was the Crow T Robot eyes included in the art? You
No,
got?
no. This was just the fork-shaped tongue. Okay. Okay, my vote. Okay.
Yep.
My vote is on the other symbiote. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did.
Dangerous. Jesus.
Yeah.
A voice said, it was none other than Carnage, as he seemingly came out of nowhere and landed next to Serpentine and let out an evil laugh. He then looked over to the Snow Queen and said,
I'm afraid.
Evil.
I'm afraid the fairy tale is over, Your Majesty. Here's the deal.
Your Majesty.
You are Majesty. I'm afraid the fairy tale is over. You are Majesty. Here's the deal. After we kill your boyfriend here, you can either come peacefully or continue to resist, in which I'll kill the rest of your little family.
I forgot to say case there. I hope you don't mind.
Starting with your little sister.
Venom Van stood in front of Elsa and roared,
You'll have to get through me first. I was counting on that.
Then on that note, Carnage launched for the attack with Serpentine right behind him. The fight was on, and Venom was literally fighting a two-front battle.
Literal.
I wish he could have another superhuman to help him.
Yeah, if only.
What's the metaphorical version of fighting a two-front battle? As he was,
You have diarrhea and nausea at the same time.
I like the image that Carnage leaps into battle and Serpentine is right behind him, like standing a little bit too close.
Like a Snake Man sandwich.
Yeah.
just poking that fork-shaped tongue up over Carnage's shoulder now and then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy.
As he was
You give it
fending
to him, Carnage.
As he was fending the two monsters off, he shouted to Kristoff.
Go now.
Kristoff nodded and got Sven going at full speed. Elsa shouted,
Eddie!
it's so perfect for this version of Elsa. And tried to stand, but Anna held her back and did her best to assure her,
He'll be okay, but we gotta leave now. We don't
As
have
they
powers like he does.
we aren't cool like him. As they shot back into the ravine and rounded a corner, the two sisters looked back worrying for Eddie. Elsa was on the verge of tears, not for her own safety, but for Eddie's, for he was alone with those horrible creatures truly fighting for his life.
Literally.
Truly.
If only someone could help him. Meanwhile, Venom was doing his best to keep the enemy distracted so his friends could make their escape. He bravely fought with all of his heart, but he was simply overwhelmed. At one point, Carnage managed to grab hold of him with his tendrils and began choking him slowly. That was when Serpentine began punching Venom repeatedly. I think that counts as an it was then. That was when Serpentine began punching Venom repeatedly as Carnage continued to have him in the chokehold. Whoa. Continued to have him in the... All right.
I will continue to have you in my chokehold.
Is Serpentor still behind him? Like, is he just punching him in the back?
Reaching around.
I will continue to have you after the break.
Although Serpentine's powers gave him enhanced strength, he still paled in comparison to the two symbiotes. However, what Serpentine lacked in strength...
But Serpentor is a symbiote.
No. No, he's just a snake-based supervillain.
Yeah, I think he just has a suit. Except,
he
with
turns
Venom.
bald. Is that the same as... In that sense, he is like a symbiote.
Male pattern baldness is like a symbiote taking over your entire body.
Yeah.
We put more thought into Serpentine than the author has. We're trying a little
We
bit.
can check that character off the list.
However, what Serpentine lacked in strength, he more than made up for in speed. He was even faster than Venom and Carnage.
So it's just
Eventually,
a barrage of really fast, weak punches.
And tongue jabs.
He just keeps forking him. Yeah. Eventually, Venom managed to break free of Carnage's hold and grab Serpentine at mid-punch and gave him a taste of his own medicine. Using all of his strength, Venom knocked Serpentine 100 feet back and sent him crashing into the outer stone wall of the ravine.
No, I prefer meters.
Probably should have killed him. If he isn't a person.
He then turned his attention to Carnage and began sparring with him with inhuman speed.
I spar with you.
I don't think this person knows what sparring means.
Little fisticuffs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
speed, though.
Means very rules.
Inhuman is very different than supernatural. Meanwhile, Kristoff was driving the sleigh to safety when all of a sudden Elsa remembered she had did something that many would consider foolish. She jumped out of the sleigh, causing Kristoff to stop and shout,
"What are you doing?"
Without saying a word, the Snow Queen raised her hand at the rest of the group and unleashed her ice powers. Whoa! Elsa went to the dark side.
Target there, Elsa.
She's just been playing Into the Breach, and she knows if you freeze a unit, it'll actually protect them.
However, she wasn't doing that to hurt them, but rather to protect.
See?
Within seconds, she formed. Within seconds, she formed. Right, she attacked. Within seconds, she formed a giant ice block around the sleigh and prayed that it would be enough to fucking choke their oxygen out to keep them safe from Carnage and Serpentine.
That's so fast. I could get to eating my food so fast if I knew.
Also,
what the hell?
David Blaine shows up pounding on the ice. Let me in! Let me in!
She knew that they would have never left without her, and so she had no choice but to form the giant ice barrier. After she finished constructing their personal fortress, she ran back to the battle in order to help Eddie.
She furnishes it with
cleared it with the foreman, got everything checked off, did all the paperwork.
I think you mean prison is really what you mean.
Yeah.
I also well, no, I guess they're on the top of a mountain. I was going to say, couldn't couldn't Carnage and Serpentine just hang around while it melted? Like, I would think all that body heat within it's going to melt through it before too long.
Yeah, But they're probably gonna freeze to death and die first.
Right,
they're-
yeah, sure.
We're in the middle of a winter snowstorm.
No. She's making that hot ice. It's very ice.
You know, Ben
Hot
Gay.
ice. Yeah, like oh hell, what is
Icy
his
hot.
name? Not Van Wilder. The guy.
Robert Van Winkle.
There we go.
Tosh?
God damn.
Oh.
Yes.
Robert
okay.
Matthew Van Winkle.
Yes.
Some hot ice. As she ran through the ravine, images of her vision. As she ran through the ravine, images of her visions from the previous night began flashing through her head. She didn't know what would be worse. Seeing Eddie dead or seeing him return to evil. Elsa did know one thing. If she didn't hurry, it may turn out to be that first option. But she only
So she didn't know if she wanted to hurry or not.
eventually.
When he returned to evil, she thinks he's always been a hero.
Well, no,
It's the whole
She
good evil thing
changed
is
him.
very eugenics in this story.
yeah.
What is all white people? So
Eventually,
So
she
what?
managed to close in on the battle. As she rounded the corner, she managed to see Venom hold Carnage down while he was savagely beating him with his fists. Carnage shrilled as he put up his hands, trying to deflect the blows, but Venom was not holding back. That was when Serpentine did a running kick on Venom's head, knocking him in a daze. He quickly shook it off and web grabbed the Snake Man and body slammed him to the ground. But now Carnage was on the attack. Carnage formed a whip with his hand and wrapped it around Venom, throwing him into the air. Then these sentences are so weird with no friggin' commas.
throwing him in there. What?
He's tossing
You just
him in
gotta
the air like a
imagine it
pizza
being
pie.
said by like a 5-year-old telling you a story. Carnage formed a whip with his hand and wrapped it around Venom, throwing him into the air.
Then, as Venom came barreling down, Serpentine jumped up. Oh shit! Sorry, I just hit my other microphone there. I can't do that. I get too into it, man. Venom, God damn it! Then, as Venom came barreling down, Serpentine jumped up into the air and roundhouse kicked him in the chest. Well,
Isn't a roundhouse kick a grounded
Which-
move?
Again, Serpentor is not super strong, so it shouldn't really have done much. Like,
But he did it really
they've established that he's not strong.
But it's so fast.
Shut your mouth. Do not
I
talk
hit you with a
about
feather, but it was fast.
17 that way.
Elsa's heart dropped as she saw him make impact into the ground at super speed and heard him roar from the pain. Now that actually makes more sense here since there's like snow on the ground, right? So I think that makes sense.
I'm still picturing a Wile E. Coyote shaped hole.
That was when so that counts as it was then. That was
Hey,
when
it was
Carnage,
then.
Carnage and Serpentine descended on him like a pack of rabid wolves and began stomping him to death.
The 2-pack.
Oh my god.
Venom,
Give him the old
now I have to
Waluigi.
draw. I have to draw wolves stomping someone to death.
Venom formed a right before it
Wait,
happened. Venom
wolves?
formed
Hold on.
a small
Yeah,
sign from his
okay,
hand
like-
that said "Yikes."
Heck, rabid wolves. Yeah, wolves are always stomping.
Carnage was now howling like a wolf with laughter as he said,
Well, that was fun, but I'm
That's why
afraid
the
the
grave was so
party's
funny,
over,
remember?
man.
he then formed both of his arms into blades and added,
Hey, Serpentine. Wonder how many chops it takes to kill another symbiote.
Let's find out.
Well, being a symbiote, you should know.
Yeah.
well, like, I don't know how many chops it would take to kill me, so. Serpentine mewed.
Where are they? Are they all uniformly, homogeneously spread across the body? Randomly
right.
assigned? There's too many variables.
Serpentine mused. Just then, a bolt of ice struck Carnage in the side, causing him to howl in pain. Pulling the enchanted ice sickle out, Ice sickle.
What?
Yeah, a
Out?
sickle formed out of ice.
Ice?
This is what Elsa
Right,
does.
yeah.
Okay. She's gonna throw the hammer next.
See, I'm a motorcycle.
That's
All right.
that is adorable. Pulling the enchanted ice sickle out, he looked up to see Queen Elsa with her hand up, ready to shoot another at him.
You're gonna regret that, Blondie.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, are you?
I
don't
told
care about
you
my
that's
weight. I will eat what I want.
What? Eating a blondie like a brownie.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret that, Blondie. Hey, who are you to tell me anything?
Now, you see, this is
There
actually
was
one of
a
the,
comma for direct address.
yeah, this is like one of the few commas in this entire goddamn thing. So
Yeah.
we can't make that joke, Tracy. Sorry, back it up.
Oh no!
I told you that she's dangerous.
She's a little bit dangerous. All right. No, nobody. No. Okay. I'm really curious. Misha was like, "Finally, goddamn! Oh no!" And I'm like, I wonder what points in the story those.
That was for Elsa finding her powers and then turning them on her friends.
Got it. Serpentine said while laughing at Carnage's misfortune. To which the evil symbiote yelled.
Oh, sorry, I lost my place. To which? Wait, where the hell? Okay. That's what confused me. They've got two lines of dialogue from different characters in one. paragraph.
Yeah, we might get three before the paragraph's over.
Shut up, or I'll shove this icicle where your scales can't protect you.
What was that? What were you channeling there? Like, this is the thing with which I will hurt you if it is, a badly dubbed.
Yeah, it sounds like a bad anime dub.
Yeah.
Which Serpentine jested.
You'd have to catch me first.
Deciding to stop their petty squabbling. What was that?
I said.
Deciding to stop their petty squabbling, they turned their attention back on the Queen, as Serpentine said.
Okay, Serpentine, right.
Queen as Serpentine said, "We're not supposed to kill you, but the master never said anything about just hurting."
They then began walking toward her, while Carnage still had his blade arms still out. Deciding not to let them get any closer, Elsa shot her ice powers at them to keep them away. Weird.
Oh, thank you, Elsa.
She threw her powers?
No, she shot them. Once she opened up on them, she knew there was no going back now. She did her best to hit them, but in the end, they were just too quick. As they closed in on her, Carnage put up his blade hand to make his next move, but then something grabbed onto him and Serpentine and pulled them back at full force. Elsa looked and saw that Venom had them with his web strands, and he continued to draw in his enemies as he got back up to his feet.
There's the lack of commas we know and love.
Then with one violent tug, he had them by their necks and said,
"The Snow Queen is mine and mine alone."
He then slammed them to the ground and began pummeling them repeatedly. Eventually, they managed to get free from Venom's assault and double-teamed him again. I love how, this author keeps pointing out that, Carnage has blade hands, and then everybody just keeps punching each other.
Yeah.
We got a roundhouse kick. That was nice. Just a little, something. Serpentine managed to get a hold of him, while this time Carnage began whacking him with a sledgehammer. It was then, counter.
Okay, so no blade hands anymore, I guess.
It was then, in her desperation, Elsa began to shoot off her ice powers at her enemies in order to save the love of her life. She hated to see Eddie Brock in the pain he was in. Little did she know that the worst was yet to come.
Oh, no.
60 years later, she watched him die of cancer. It was very painful. Power, she fired an icy blast at the evil duo. Right as she shot it through Carnage and Serpentine... Wait. Oh, right, though. Okay. Right as she shot it, though, Carnage and Serpentine nodded, and then with inhuman speed, they did the unthinkable. They used Venom as a human shield and her ice.
That's a fine enough sentiment on its own. This might be our last time. We better do it with inhuman speed.
They used Venom as a human shield, and her ice spell hit him in the heart, causing Venom to collapse from the impact.
Did it change the color of his non-existent hair? I swear to God, if there's a troll song in the next chapter.
Oh God! Oh, that was the worst part of that movie. Oh my God! Oh.
Misha says, "Wow, she had those all along." Yes, she did.
Eddie!
She screamed in terror as she saw her ice blast hit him in the worst place possible. No, that's second worst.
All right, this is her.
Quinn?
Oh, yeah. No, not again.
She thought as tears rolled down her eyes. She mentally cursed
her eyes from the top to the bottom.
Wait, I didn't even notice that.
That's happens when you get crocodile.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, this wasn't her.
Making fun of a disability, I think.
I'm imagining they've got those like
I only have tear ducts
fancy like glass globes that have water flowing around them for like offices, you know.
Her eyes were an infinity pool.
She mentally cursed herself for doing the one thing that she promised never to do again. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did this literally happen? Did this literally happen in Frozen as well?
Yes, that happened in Frozen. She did
that
to Anna. She did that to Anna, and they had to save her, and it was,
Yeah, they had to save her by finding true love, which they already have.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's going to be an issue.
Right.
But it happened. Once again, she froze a loved one's heart.
Eddie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
She cried to him. But that was when, I think that counts as a counter, but that was when the enemy made their move. Carnage leapt over to where Elsa was and grabbed her despite her kicking and screaming, trying to get away. Deciding not to put up with it, oh my God, a comma. Deciding not to put up with it, he knocked her out and slung her unconscious body over his shoulder and swung away with his tendrils while Serpentine was right behind them.
No way.
Does that mean he's holding on behind? Yes. Because he swung away.
I need a picture now. I know we've got a lot of pictures queued up just from this one story, but Carnage swinging away with the much smaller Serpentine just clinging to his butt.
I mean, the only other option is that he's just hoofing it along the snow, right?
He is faster.
I think he did that jump thing, though. Oh, no, that was Carnage, wasn't it?
What?
Yeah, I don't think Serpentor can jump faster, so yeah, he's probably just running.
I'm just now seeing the progress on the illustration with the fork-shaped tongue and the. Okay. Oh God, this is gonna kill my voice. Technically, this should be the entire paragraph, but.
Yep.
Elsa! And he screamed as his face appeared.
This sounds like a rock opera.
How is he screaming if his heart is frozen? Shouldn't he be like in a coma?
Yeah.
No, it's in the movie. The spear, the ice blast hit the heart, and it like caused Anna to become like sick, basically. But she was still like awake.
Elsa, you froze my heart with ice. That wasn't very nice. Something like that.
Yeah.
He attempted to shoot out a web strand.
Be coming soon to a theater near me.
He attempted to shoot, and yet you're stuck at home. He attempted to shoot out a web strand and follow them to rescue his queen, but then an unnatural pain shot from his heart, causing him to convulse and scream from
Rescue from
Just
what?
to be clear, I wasn't. Just to be
Scream
clear,
from
I
his
wasn't
heart.
like meaning that just for Tracy. I'm talking about the pandemic in general.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, it sounded a little too mean spirited there.
We all know you're under house arrest. So
You're just a flight attendant. He tried again, and this time managed to get some air. But once he shot another strand out to take his next swing, the pain shot through him again, causing him to lose his focus and crash into the ground. As he made impact, he tried to get back up and try again, but the pain was too great, causing him to collapse. He began to black out, but as the world around him turned dark, he thought he could see a pair of feet walking toward him.
Oh no, it's gonna be the trolls.
Oh,
It's gonna be the trolls.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile, Kristoff, Anna, Olaf, and Sven were still trapped in the snow block. Kristoff used about every tool he had to try and break through the ice and get free, but the enchanted ice was far too strong. Either Elsa truly didn't want them to get out, or the more likely and disturbing scenario, something to get in.
they know what's going on.
Yeah.
and,
It's both
like-
of those things.
Yeah.
He-
Plus, like, they should think that she wants to, like, imprison them to death, you know? Like,
Yeah.
they can't get that. They can't get out.
He was down to his pickaxe. Like, that wasn't the first tool.
Yeah, I know. You're an ice cutter by trade. Why
Also-
can't you handle this?
Also, they're all shoved into a very small area here. Maybe swinging a pickaxe is not the best thing.
right.
He was down.
You hit Olaf. Wait, no, do it again.
He was down to his pickaxe as he violently tried chipping away at the thick ice walls surrounding them. He eventually tired out and threw the pickaxe down in frustration and kicked the wall while shouting at it.
Why won't you break?
I feel like that's directed at the reader, asking why we're still reading this.
Yeah.
He
The
then
author is trying to break us, but
He then
we,
sat-
we will not falter.
We will not. He then sat down trying to catch his breath while Anna squatted down to try and comfort him for his efforts. Squatted there. Such a...
Yeah.
They then they then embraced each other
Maybe
as
I
Anna
can
said.
pee our way out.
Hold on, Kristoff. Let me just pop a squat right here.
Just-
Anna said,
Oh, sorry. I was on a. We'll get out of here. I just know it.
Suddenly, a loud crashing sound caught them off guard as they both fell over and looked over to see a large metal hand that had punched through the wall.
Metal.
Okay,
Yeah.
who do we think this is gonna be?
Metallo.
Does
Metal Sonic.
Dr. Doom?
Shrek.
Serpentor have metal hands?
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh, never mind.
This has
he's
got to
got a fort-shaped
Doctor
top.
Doom.
Dr. Octopus.
Metallo.
Gosh, I think it might be Paul Giamatti as
Russian
Rhino.
X-Man?
Oh my God.
Is it
Dr. Doom is the best guess so
Dr.
far.
Octopus?
from Marvel. Octopus is, but why would he be helping them?
It's my day.
Oh.
It doesn't.
Oh,
need
Why
to be
would
Marvel,
Venom be
right?
He
helping
doesn't-
them?
he's
Who
not
gives-
necessarily
like,
helping
None of this
them.
makes sense.
Yeah,
He's
we don't know. Yeah.
Russian
Oh, yeah,
X-Man in what's the annoying thing with Ryan Reynolds? What's that called?
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's his Russian buddy? Who's like,
Colossus.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Deadpool.
Okay, yeah.
Colossus.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say the cheapest of X-Men because they put it in that movie and no other X-Men. So yeah,
Yeah,
the cheapest of X-Men. Colossus is helping them.
I was going to say, but Misha also pointed out Iron Man. Is another Marvel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, well, no, I'm
Yeah.
giving the author too much credit. I was gonna say I
Yeah,
feel like
don't do
the
that.
author would have
It
said
won't-
Iron
it
Hand
won't
or
be-
something. But
I don't think
Iron is a metal.
they would do Iron Man, because remember, this guy's all like, people like the heroes, but I like Venom.
Yeah,
Well,
he
Iron Man
does
was
have
mentioned
not like
in the
other
story,
geeks.
though. He was the one who sent Venom to Arendelle. Even though he was trying to send him to the far reaches of space.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So maybe he's here now trying to clean up his mistake.
As we all know,
could be.
Disney's Frozen takes place in the far reaches of space.
Yes.
No, it apparently takes place in Sweden 300 years ago. That's.
I thought it was Norway, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked Frozen. It was the 2-hour, or it was the feature-length music video for "Let It Go," but it was a okay movie.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
It was good.
I've heard good things.
Okay.
Spitfire also said.
Actually,
Spitfire also said he started by trying to lick his way out. That's how.
And they spent an hour getting him unstuck.
Yeah.
I guess I'll try the pickaxe.
I'm just down with Comrade Elsa throwing icicles at people. That's,
Yes.
Finally. Oh,
Yeah.
Like next
Someone's
chapter, she's going to give out
finally.
bread to people. Perhaps you wouldn't be so downtrodden and beating your wife out of insecurities if your food worries weren't there, my friend. Here, have more bread.
maybe you wouldn't be so downtrodden if you just pulled yourself up by your bootstraps.
No, that's something
being
Carnage
poor.
would say.
yeah, that's capitalist carnage right there.
Capitalist Carnage. Capitalist Carnage.
That's like
Comrade Elsa.
That's like what artists would have made in Russia if it was in the USSR, if it really was a communist country.
Yeah.
I can't think of a word that starts with E. It's
It sounds like a Red Scare superhero, but they didn't do those. Did they do those?
They
In Russia,
had.
did they care at all?
I don't think they.
There
did
were a
those
couple
in Russia.
SNL sketches of it. They weren't legit.
We're out of time, so we will move on and find out whose metal hand is either assaulting or aiding them next week. All right, thanks for coming out, everybody. We'll see you next week. Remember, it all going according to plan. I am probably gonna. I hate
that's
that
the
I
ender,
can't
Tristan.
see.
That's the ender.
Oh wait. Dismount.
Come
got
on,
a
don't
little-
drag out these endings, man. I hate that's when meetings at work go like this, and I've just got my
Yeah.
pointer
Well, then
over.
leave.
Leave meeting, and I'm
Get
just
out!
waiting and waiting.
We don't
and
need
waiting.
you.
Guys, wait, guys.
I am. Good
How was
night.
everybody's weekend?
Remember, it all going according to plan.